story behind the song, transmission error. So this song was originally, the working title was Russian-Armenian Nightmare, because it was inspired by fantastic pianists, Russian pianist Gleb Kolyadin and Armenian pianist Tigran Hamasyan. And thank you, Alec Darson, for turning me on to Tigran Hamasyan. And they have a lot of really cool rhythmic things going on. And this actually, in 2017, I had a dream, and I woke up and I heard a lot of this stuff playing in my head. So I had to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and write it down. And it actually wound up being 2 different bits that I wrote, and I thought they were going to be for different songs. And one day when we were listening to all those bits that you've seen in another video on the whiteboard and all the things we had to put together, Billy said, "Oh, you should take those 2 things and put them together." And I said, "They're not even in the same key. They're like a half step apart." And he goes, "So they sound kind of alike. You should put them together in the same song." So that's how they both bits wound up. And one of the bits wound up in the first part of the song in the introduction, and another bit wound up later during one of the big long instrumental sections.
I think when Andy was writing this, he had it in his head, revenge. Because I think after hearing my song "You," he said, I gotta give Darin a challenge. So this one took a long time, especially that first beginning bit, because I was trying to change the time signatures according to his rhythm. And I was having a difficult time with that because for me, it just wasn't flowing the way I usually
the way you play. Well, I thought he would like it because the Darin Brannon motto for the last like 10 years has been, we should need to add a beat or take out a beat. And it was an odd number of beats through the different phrases, and I thought, he'll love it.
I have a limit, though. So anyways, it took a long time. We were here in the studio, and I was kind of playing along with the track, and I was getting frustrated, and I was going, oh my God. So anyways, what I end up doing is playing it very, like, kind of a slow 4, while the riff is moving a little quicker on top. Right. So I kind of broke it down a little bit, and it made it flow.
It grooves, actually.
It grooves, yeah. So it's just I think it's the second measure we cut off a 16th beat. So, which is cool. We love doing that. That's how I have it in my head.
Well, you know what? And Shelby actually helped with this too, because we did our first pass. We sent it to Shelby, and she came up with a similar type thing. And then you heard what she was doing.
Right. That's right. So that was the whole beginning part. We do for the verses. It's the same riff, but we're playing it in 4. Right. Which is something that was challenging for me to do, but no, it was good. So thank you. The rhythm we kept consistent, but we did change the time signature for the singing.
Right. Yeah. For the song part, one of the things we tried to do was keep it in 4 and a little bit simpler, because the instrumental bits on this song are very progressive with all kinds of changing time signatures, and we were just trying to, give the listeners something to hold on to a little bit for the vocal sections.
The first part of it drives pretty heavily. Fast forward, motion seeker, I cannot breathe, I break, a tourniquet around my neck, the last breath that I take. That, I believe, is a good section of, it's a combination of yours and Billy's lyrics.
Right.
And then it goes into something else that I did, forgiveness like a loaded gun, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I handled more of the softer sections lyrically, but these guys, when it cranks back up, those lyrics belong to those guys. And I have no clue what this song is about. I'll be perfectly candid, but we were all writing scraps of paper, and and the music did inform this, all that stuff.
Right. I think for this song, the lyrical and the vocal line kind of plays more into a rhythmic part. Yeah. More than like a lyrical content where you're going to grab meaning. Yes. So the words are kind of fitting into the music the way a guitar part might fit in or a bass part might fit in.
Yeah.
I think part of the thing with the lyrics for the transmission error has to do, it is a relationship song, but it has to do with errors in communication. That can happen in any relationships. There's some famous quote that's, one of the biggest mistakes about communication is the assumption that it has been accomplished. So a lot of times it could be a working relationship, it could be families, it could be anything. When you think you're communicating well with someone and it's just not landing or it's just not working.
Excellent.
In one of the instrumental sections, it was another one of the biddly bits, whatever we had come up with. And we kind of built this into our, like this song is basically our 10-minute kind of epic with a lot of instrumental things. And we've done that usually one on every album, and this is that one. And we kind of pulled out all the stops between Darin's drumming, Shelby's bass, Dave's epic guitars, and we've got, you know, keyboards, mellotron, strings, choirs, and then I've got what they like to refer to as another Rachmaninoff moment with some kind of, you know, classically inspired octave run, and we've got an ambient moment, and then actually there's another groove moment that's in 4, but it's a 6-bar phrase, so it's still a little kind of somewhat progressive. That's very percussive. Something that I came up with that I don't usually write, that I hadn't written before, with kind of a Wurlitzer Rhodes sound, and we've got some trading of solos. So Shelby gets a moment for a bass solo. Dave's got a great guitar solo. I got a synth solo that I'm playing on my Roland, you know, keytar. Love it or hate it, but cheesy or not, I get a moment there. And then Dave and I get to do a super cool kind of guitar keyboard duet. Before we head into one of our final sections, something Darin's been wanting to do for a long time.
Yes. So we move, well, first of all, the song starts with the whole screwed up time signature, which I really don't know what it is. Then we go into a vocal part. Then we go into a piano breakdown, very kind of ambient and very pretty with her singing. And then we move into these different sections, and we decided, and something that I've always wanted to do on a record is to have a reprise, kind of bring back certain moments of a couple songs that we've written, you know, that's included in the record. So we ended up, Andy wrote this whole section. It's all in 4. It's kind of, you know, kind of an anthemic type feel to it. It's heavy.
That section for the reprise, Darin has been talking about a reprise for a long time. And one of the things that I also always wanted to do was have a big ending.
Yes.
We were talking to some friends of ours from the band Glass Hammer, and they were talking about some music that they didn't care for, and it was either Steve or Fred who said, and I don't remember who they were talking about, said they don't really know how to bring it home, to really have a climax of a song. And that stuck in my head, and I thought, you know, that's something we've never really done before, is really try to bring it home at the end of a song. And then in November, Natalie and I saw Yes. We had like 5th row seats, and there was some, yes, and I don't remember which song it was, but it was another song that they did, and they had bass pedals and this big slow down epic ending, and I thought, you know, we need to try to do something like that for this song that's going to finish the record.
Right.
And how can we incorporate it with Darin's reprise concept?
And we did.
And we did.
Thank you.
Thanks. So you know, we tried to be anthemic, you know, big choirs. Again, it's as big as we could make it. It's probably awesome and ridiculous, including some sound effects and, you know, but
more is more.
You know, for this one, more is more. But we just thought this was a good way to kind of take us out at the end of this third studio album.